Hello and welcome. In this video, we shall discuss about the very important topic of electrostatics, that is Coulomb's law. Let us see the statement of Coulomb's law. According to this law, the force of attraction or repulsion between any two-point charges at rest is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of two charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So this law talks about the force of attraction or repulsion. So it gives us an equation for the force. This force is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of the two charges. So the charges that are into the system, it comes into the equation with the magnitude value and inversely proportional to square of distance. So three important parameters of this law are the force, the charges and the distance. Let us now see how we write the mathematical form of it in magnitude and vector form.
Consider two charges Q1 and Q2 separated by some distance. So these are the two charges Q1 and Q2 separated by, say, a distance r. According to the statement of Coulomb's law, the force between the two charges is proportional to the product of magnitude of the two charges, that is F proportional to Q1 into Q2, and F is also inversely proportional to square of the distance between them, that is F proportional to 1 upon r square. When we combine these two, we find that the equation is F proportional to Q1 Q2 by r square. We remove the proportionality and introduce a constant denoted by small letter k, Q1 Q2 by r square. This is the mathematical form of Coulomb's law. F gives the magnitude of the force acting between the two charges Q1 and Q2, and r is the distance of separation. K is a constant called as Coulomb's constant. The value of Coulomb's constant is 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. We will see how this value has come a little later. Now, let us see how we can write Coulomb's law in vector form. For this, I will draw in the same diagram the vector notation of the forces. We have the charge Q1, we have the charge Q2. The force acting on charge Q1 due to Q2 will be outward because it is repulsive, and this force will be written as F12. We read it as force acting on charge 1 due to charge 2. Similarly, the force acting on Q2 will be outward because we have taken like charges, thus forces are repulsive. Here, the force is F21, that is force acting on charge Q2 due to Q1. The distances in terms of vectors are written as unit vector r, 1, 2 or unit vector r, 2, 1. They are directed towards. Now, we shall write the force in vector form. I'll use the same equation, and I'm writing for force acting on charge 1 due to charge 2 in vector form. The magnitude is K, Q1 Q2 divided by r square, and to give the direction to the force we write r12 unit vector. This is the equation of force in vector form. Now let us write the equation of force F21. This is read as force acting on charge 2 due to charge 1. It is given by K product of the magnitude of charges divided by r square. Now the direction is changed, thus direction is unit vector r2, 1. But we see that these unit vectors are acting in the opposite direction, so we write as r21 is equals to minus of r12. This gives us the relation that the force F12 is negative of F21. Thus we see the two forces acting is equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So the two line charges repel each other with equal amount of force. Let us now see the value of Coulomb's constant K. Coulomb's constant small letter k is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon. Epsilon is a Greek alphabet which gives us permittivity of the medium. So this is a value of a medium that is taken into consideration. This permittivity is written as epsilon naught into epsilon r. Epsilon naught is the absolute permittivity of free space. The value of epsilon naught is constant, that is 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. So it's a constant for the free space, and epsilon r is called as the relative permittivity. So we write permittivity in terms of absolute permittivity multiplied by relative permittivity. Now our equation will take form of K is a small letter k 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r. If we consider all the constant values to be put here, this will be 1 upon 4, pi is 3.14, epsilon naught is 8.854, 10 to the power minus 12 multiplied by epsilon r. When we solve this, we get the value 9 into 10 to the power 9 upon epsilon r. Thus, we see the value of Coulomb's constant is 9 10 to the power 9 upon epsilon r. If we are considering air, for air epsilon r is equals to 1. Thus we have Coulomb's constant as 9 into 10 to the power 9, and the unit of Coulomb's constant is the reciprocal of this, that is Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So we have the value of K as 9 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Another point to be noted is that epsilon r is the relative permittivity of the medium, which is also called as dielectric constant. Let us see how it is defined.
The relative permittivity, which is also called as dielectric constant, is defined as the ratio of Coulomb's force F between 2 point charges placed in air or vacuum to the Coulomb's force Fm between the same charges placed in the medium separated by the same distance from each other. So we see this dielectric constant, which is also denoted by capital K, is nothing but the ratio of F upon Fm. It is the force between two charges in air upon force between the same two charges at the same distance placed in some medium. Thus epsilon r is equals to F upon Fm. Because it is the ratio of two similar quantities, therefore it has no units. That is, dielectric constant is simply a number without any unit. This all for today. Thank you.